comb thing, right? So obviously, I no longer spend as much time in a particular area that I used to spend in.
Yeah.
The area that I live in, the the male barber scene is not great by any means. So
Oh man.
I haven't been able to see my barber in quite some time. And because he's technically an hour away from me. So I had to subject myself to sports clips today. Um which is really in case of emergency only spot for me. And I was there. Usually, if I have to go to sports clips, it's usually like a 20-minute haircut. Like, yo, just take everything off here and
Yeah.
I'll deal with this. But this was looking wild for the summertime. So I told the lady, I said, listen, we got to do something over here today. And I was there for about an hour because I kept having to like, and give her credit. She did a great job. She had a great conversation. I love sports clips. Um, But I was there for about an hour to like, yo, no, 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 you gotta like, no, no, the line is this. This is the line. No, no, I want it like, so shout out to the great barbers of the world. They are truly artists.
So how much are they charging these days?
Well, no matter where I go, I tend to tip pretty good, whether it's
Yeah.
barbershop or restaurant. Um, so I got the wash and everything and the hot towel, and it was about $38, and then I gave a $12 tip.
Oh,
So
because I'm paying around $75 these days.
yeah, when I go
$50
to
for the haircut, $25 tip.
right, same. Yeah, when I go to my regular barber, it's about he cool and he sort of does it. He left the shop he's at. He does it from his house.
Yeah.
So he charges about. I know MJ gonna want to jump in on this. He charges about same thing. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this before you go, MJ. We live, by the way.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, y'all. When I went to North Carolina, okay. I went to this barbershop, and this barbershop, I got to give him credit. It was a black owned barbershop, and it was an experience. The dude was actually originally from Brooklyn, which is ironic. I didn't even know that, but I just have some sort of New York connection.
Mhm.
And at the end, I paid about $130 for the haircut with the tip. But it was an experience, and the date that evening was very successful. The steak was also very good, so I'll say the haircut was worth it. But I digress. Fellas, how we doing?
We good, man. We good.
What's up?
I just got one question about the barbers. I love the barbers. Shout out to the barbers out there.
Yes.
I have one question. Does the black latex gloves automatically give a $15 upcharge? It's okay. We can talk. This is a safe place.
I think so. I've noticed that. If they got the gloves
Black
on,
latex gloves, the big black.
yes.
As soon as
Yeah.
Yes.
I already know the haircut is north of 60. I just know it. Pencil in.
No, not only that, I need my barber to change that razor at least twice, minimum,
Yeah,
minimum twice.
yeah. That
So if you gotta charge for it, charge for it.
you got to. And shout out to my barber for hitting me with the cologne at the end.
Yeah, that shit
Yeah.
burning.
Like,
Like,
Yeah.
they doing the attention to detail to where it's like you kind of got to tip them. And salute to the attention to detail in the barber.
No doubt. No doubt.
mhm.
Yeah, man.
No
Y'all
doubt.
got it.
Girl.
Y'all got it this year because this year has been the year of I'm not paying that shit. So with everything being said, I got my own clippers that go but also again I'm also in a different type of the business in the world, so I can't really have my bearding like I would like.
Yeah,
I will say this: from where you were to where you are now, the barbershop prices are definitely different. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure.
Everything is different.
Yes, we know
So
that.
we'll just leave that where it needs to be.
We know that. No matter where you were living previously, uh, where you are now is a culture shock. No matter what. No matter what. No
Melting
matter
pot.
what.
But hey, y'all, hey, what's going on?
No matter what.
Um,
Hey, I'll tell you this though. Like truly, and I ain't saying this because MJ is on here. There is the Windy City was an experience, and I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll know for sure, but I should be back next weekend. But I'll let you know for sure, MJ.
Okay. Hey, look, man.
Yeah.
I gotta take you to a rooftop or something, man.
But,
I have to roll the red carpet out for you, sir.
I will know by tomorrow. So as soon as
Or
I find out, you're the first person I'm texting.
I'll have to roll out the blue carpet. Blue carpet. Shout out. My bad, Les. Yeah, roll out the blue one.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna leave it for a DC. We're gonna leave it for a DC. We're gonna leave it for a DC. Welcome. I was just sharing everything, fellas. We're gonna talk a little AFC North. We are officially back in the fold. It's been a while. And we appreciate everybody who sort of stuck with us. And certainly appreciate Germ and MJ and Trav and Big Shot and Jaquan and Tanya and Ham and everybody who filled in and did shows throughout last season. But make no mistake about it, we are back this year in full effect, and we coming with that bow tie flow. If for those of you who knows what that means, so Vic, AFC North, you ready to talk about it?
Yes, sir. Such an
MJ,
interesting division.
yes, it is. MJ, you gonna stay on?
Listen,
You don't need an invitation when you have a key to the door. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, fam. I was gonna let y'all cook until you start talking about barbers. I can't leave now. I've already showed my face, so I'm here. I'm locked in. This is compelling. I haven't talked football. I don't know in how long, man. And let me give a quick shout out to Johnny Radio for letting us just come into his house, put our feet on his proverbial couch,
facts,
and not trip. Actually,
facts.
he gives us another couch and say, "Put your feet on this one too." He's an incredible guy. So salute to Johnny Radio. If you're not listening to us on Sports 56, 98.5 FM on Happy Hour Fridays and also on the days Germ got, I think is on Tuesdays. I'm gonna let Germ pump up that form. What the hell are you doing with your life? Download that and subscribe to us. So we had to get the business out the way because now it's about time we get on business.
Germ,
When you on?
I'm just first things first. I'm excited to get back into the flow of things. But it says it's every Tuesday for those who care to know. Every Tuesday around it's noon Memphis time, 1:00 Eastern Standard. So that's how it goes.
Absolutely.
Man.
And then we can't forget
we
got Jorge representing on Wednesdays, representing the dish. So
Sure.
shout out to the scene. We own it.
So,
All right, so we got the AFC North. Fellas, let's get cracking. It was a nice little warm up. We got the AFC North. It is undoubtedly one of the toughest divisions in football historically. The last 25 years, it's been one of the toughest divisions in football. Not sometimes necessarily in terms of like win-loss records, because there have been some down years. There have been some years where it's only two teams competing. There have been some years where there's only one team who kind of stands out above the rest, like last year. But AFC North football means, despite all the rules, it's going to be some old school type of hitting. It's going to be a grind you out type of game. It's going to be physical, and it's going to get emotional. The one thing we saw last year out of that division, in all fairness, it is what it is. There was one team that was just above the rest. Despite the Bengals going on a hot streak, despite the Steelers after Halloween looking like, oh, maybe they found something, despite the excitement that Jameis Winston brought to the Cleveland Browns, the Ravens were just above everybody else. And I don't think anybody can disagree with that. We're talking about the off seasons that these divisional teams have had, right? And really, the three other teams have had interesting off seasons, right, Vic? They've had off seasons where they're constantly being talked about. All three teams, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Steelers. So between I-80 and I-71, that little triangle right there, they've all been getting talked about every week. And that's not always a good thing. Meanwhile, the Ravens have had probably the most boring offseason. And boring is not bad. Boring, when it comes to success, is an ingredient of it. It is part of the recipe. And that's just reality. And I'm going to start with you, Germ, because I remember watching the draft with you. And when when we got to the Ravens, you said, "Oh bleep, you don't let these MFers do this again." So I'm gonna let you start off with the Baltimore Ravens and their boring offseason.
Well, the thing is, the theme this year is the rich get richer.
Mm-hmm.
That's the theme. I mean, when you already have a foundation, you already have an identity, and you show up to the scene, no pun intended, you show up and you just do your job and you go home. The Ravens are a team that are going to always be in the thick of things because they have a style that is conducive for success. They have the blueprint for all of our Jay-Z listeners out there. You know, when they show up to most fields, it's the ruler's back. And that's just how it has to go. It's not very much that they need to add when it comes to the roster. I think what we need to add for the Ravens is some common sense, more than it is anything else. It's all mental at this stage. It could all be so simple, in the words of Lauryn Hill. If we just go back to the foundation of the game of football, it's about the trenches, it's about the running game, and it's about playing good defense. And they can do all three. They can dominate you at the point of attack. They can do all of those things. But the biggest thing for that team is it's not about Lamar. Let's make sure that make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about Lamar. It is about every other player around him being able to do their proverbial job so that they can be successful, so that he is putting up better numbers, so that those things are moving forward. So I say that to wrap up my little portion here.
Good.
To get up to the draft podium, to be able to draft another safety, which is the safety is a luxury position to pay in this NFL, with quarterbacks, left tackles, cornerbacks being at a premium, pass rushers. You just drafted another guy that you got on a 4-year deal.
Yep.
After 2 years ago, drafted another guy that you got for another 5 years.
Yeah.
That you'll have him for the next 2 years with this other guy, with Malachi Starks.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have Malachi for 5 years, you know, and then I understand that the player they took in the second round had some character questions in Mike Green, but there are certain organizations where if you have character questions, they're going to be answered pretty quickly. So they drafted Mike Green. They drafted Malachi Starks. They didn't really lose anybody of major significance. And then, Vic, we always talk about taking care of your own.
Right.
They re-signed Henry, restructured that, extended that. So a 32-year-old running back, although he's great, although he's worth it, he's not putting pressure on the cap. So that's fine. They re-signed Rashad Bateman, homegrown wide receiver superstar. They re-signed Ronnie Stanley. They kept their fullback, who is essential to their scheme. So they didn't really lose anybody. They just got better. As Germ said, the rich got richer. Your thoughts on the Ravens, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving the fact that, like you said, first of all, you got to bring Ronnie Stanley back. Your best pass protector, and he's improved a lot over the years in terms of his ability to help in the run game. At first he was a pass protector. He was considered a pass pro, and now he's gotten better as a blocker in the run game. Bringing DeAndre Hopkins, I think that's going to help the young receivers. I think that's going to help Bateman take his game to another level. I think that's a significant signing, even if his impact is not like what it used to be 4 or 5 years ago, especially with Lamar. But I think it's going to help that receiving core get better. And I think they bought some competition with Cooper Rush. Put some pressure on.
Wait a minute. No, we paying attention. Don't try to set that in there. Like, we not paying attention. We paying attention.
I'm trying to see if y'all awake. We
paying attention.
No,
sir.
but
Come on.
At the end of the day, man, listen, like you said, taking care of their own, drafting well. Malachi Starks at free safety. Okay, he's already listed as a starting free safety. Right next to the other kid at strong safety. Like, that's gonna be a solid defense, for them. That kid Malachi can definitely play the deep center, Germ. I saw a little bit of film on some of the things he was able to do, and you know how these kids struggle with turning their shoulders, getting to the center field level, and he's probably one of those kids that might be able to do a little bit of that for them. So, that's going to be interesting. So again, the Ravens draft well. They take care of their own players. Is Lamar going to be able to take that step forward, and take them? I mean, It's every year, dog. Like, there's really nothing else to say about it.
They'll tag me in on this one.
Go ahead, bro.
Because y'all tired of hearing Germ say it, y'all tired of hearing Vic say it. So let it come from another refreshing voice. By the way, how is everybody doing out there in the group chat? Some of y'all say shout out, long time no see. I can't do Facebook no more. I'm sorry. So if y'all want to catch me, y'all gonna have to catch me here. With that being said, let me just say it, okay? And I'm not going to just say it like it's going to be any slander or anything like that. This is just going to be facts that I'm going to give. And I'm going to use an incredible quarterback as an example. That is a Hall of Fame quarterback. His name is Manning. Peyton Manning has 2 rings. As incredible as he was, he got 2 rings. And first off, we're not going to talk about the first Super Bowl against the Bears. We'll talk about the game he had to beat to get to the Bears, which was the Patriots when they were 20-plus points. And when the game was on the line, Peyton Manning audibled and handed the ball off to Joseph Adai, and he ran it in. I want y'all to back of y'all brain.
Yep.
Then let's go to Denver when they won the championship against Carolina. He didn't have the best game, but he protected the ball enough and allowed his defense to do what they do best. Those 2 things are extremely significant because Peyton Manning is a control freak who has to be a part of every possession, who has to control every possession. And the 2 times he won, he let go of that control. Lamar has to let go of that control. His championship is on the other side of letting go of that control. You have everything that you need. Get the ball to your guys in spaces and let them do the work for you. And you still have in your back pocket the ability to take off for 30 yards if absolutely needed.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just where we're at. I don't care who y'all draft. I don't care how good the defense is. It doesn't even matter anymore. It's going to come down to him. And he's gotten better and better each year. But now it's going to come down to the fact that he is going to have to get the ball to his skill guys, stay upright, and he probably is going to require him not holding the ball no longer than 4 seconds to do it. His championship is on the other end of that maturity.
100%. And shout out to Germ, because he's the one that had us look this up. In the game that they ended up losing to the Bills, they were running the ball well, very well. There's no reason why the Bills should have had more rushing attempts than the Ravens when they weren't running the ball as well. The Ravens in that game, Germ, to your point, averaged almost 6 yards per carry. So, like you said, had they just kept running that ball, they probably would have ended up in the Super Bowl. Well, whether they would have won or not, different story, because I ain't gonna discredit the champs. But had they just kept running that football, a couple things would have happened. One, they would have extended some drives, which in turn would have had them win the time of possession game instead of lose it. And that's the biggest one, is they would have ended up having more time of possession, controlling the pace better, keeping Josh Allen on the sideline longer. But instead, I mean, the Ravens outgained the Bills by, I think, like almost 150 yards in that game.
It was a
There was,
significant amount.
yeah. The one thing they didn't do was stick to who they are. So, expectations. Obviously, they're going to be back in the playoffs. That's like my obvious expectations will go around the horn. So my expectations is they'll be in the playoffs. To me, and this is for all Ravens fans, including my brother Dion Reed, I don't want to hear about MVPs. I don't want to hear about how many people have been wrong about him. All that is absolutely true. Okay. This is it. Enough is enough. Like, you have everything that you need. You are entering the prime years of your quarterback life, where it's supposed to start slowing down and coming together. We know we're never going to talk about Lamar as being a top 5 arm talent in the league, or even a top 10 arm talent in the league. We don't need that. Guess what? The game is catered now where you don't need to be that.
Mm-hmm.
What we need from the Baltimore Ravens is a trip back to February. That is the only expectation that should be acceptable as an acceptable result, because the AFC is not top heavy the way the NFC is. It has a top heavy aspect to it, but it's not as congested as the NFC is. The NFC is congested. In the AFC, you know who they are? They're the healthy version of the Cleveland Cavaliers of last year. I'll take it a step further and say maybe a healthy version of the Boston Celtics of last year. That's who the Ravens are. They have everything at their disposal, including somebody who was MVP of the league. So I'll leave my whether they will win the division or not to later, but that's my expectations for them this year. Germ?
Same expectation. It's Super Bowl or bust. What more do you need?
Yeah.
What more can I say?
Yeah, real quick. I mean, even the third round pick, Emory Jones Jr., the other tackle from LSU. I thought that was a tremendous player too. That's an athlete right there, and the Ravens do very well getting offensive linemen ready in their careers, ready for games. So if they get a right tackle out of that kid, opposite of Ronnie Stanley,
Hey,
again, I mean,
listen.
you got everything you need. So
All
I
these-
mean, yeah, for sure. Like, what other expectation can there be for the
Facts.
Ravens right now?
all these Jay-Z references, and then Vic says Emory Jones. For a second, I was a little proud. I thought he was going to give us a Jay-Z reference. Shout out to Tata as well. Go ahead, MJ.
I said it all. And like, I'm not about to sit up here, and be an or give you an encore. It's not gonna do it, man.
All right.
Like, we can do this all day.
Oh my God. All right, let's
Real quick, there was one more point. The Ravens used, right, a 12 personnel, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 29% of the time.
say that one more time.
They used the 12 personnel. That is 1 tight end, 2 running backs, 29% of the time. That's the most out of all their personnel packages. Does that need to be a bigger number?
No, they need to use 21.
I mean,
Can you do something for me?
I'm sorry, Jerem. 21 is 2 running backs, 1 tight end, which means your fullback is on the field.
They need to use 21. Can you do
Yes.
something for me? 21.
Yes. So your fullback is on the field with your running back.
No, I'm talking 2 tight ends and
So
1
that's
running
12.
back.
That's 12. That's 12.
Okay.
That's my bad. That's
So
12.
making sure we're on the same. So if we need them to run 12 personnel more, that is Isaiah Likely, and that is Mark Andrews with Derrick Henry. When
Hold
they
on,
did
hold
that
on.
the last time, Lamar won MVP, and last year he was in running to win MVP. They don't need receivers. They need to utilize the weapons that they have at their disposal and hit people in the mouth.
So what I'm saying is, for me, right, to further our point, they need to run the football more. So
Correct.
21 personnel, you sign a fullback, you keep a fullback on the roster, one of the few teams, right, because it's a new NFL. 29% of the time means that, yes, you have some balance in terms of your packages, but if they need to be more successful in closing games and getting to February, should they use their fullback more and like right in front of one of the most physical running backs the league has ever seen?
So
That's where I'm going with that.
we want to make this into 10% of the year of the 22, like views from the 22. So we do 2 tight ends and 2 running backs,
Right.
and we reverse pivot, hand
Yeah.
off the ball late in the game, and say, "Can
That's
you
a good
stop
answer.
this?"
That's a good answer right there. But they need to run the football. That's plain and
They
simple.
can do the Ravens can do 13. They can do I mean, I don't know if it's the correct terminology, but the Ravens can damn near do any personnel package that they want because they have the bodies to be able to do it. They are not short of big men.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody in the comment section. Shout out to our brother Big Shot. He says, unless they are down double digits in the fourth quarter, Ravens run to pass ratio should always be 2-1. And we talk about Lamar, we talk about Derrick Henry, but they have other running backs who are also capable of coming in and adding a different pace, adding a different dynamic. So I think they're not only should they be running more 12 and 21s and 22s even, because the beautiful thing about it with Isaiah Likely is you could run a traditional 2-eye formation with Isaiah Likely being flexed off and you forcing the defense to be in a base personnel. You go out formation with 3 tight ends or 2 tight ends and a fullback, right? You force the defense to go into a base personnel. All of a sudden now, you got a linebacker who's got to defend Isaiah Likely in space. Or you put a secondary player on him. Now, all of a sudden, on the edge, you got a secondary player who's got to hold off Isaiah Likely in the run game. So you can create little subtle advantages and nuances that way with how effective your personnel is. And that's why the packages are so important. Shout out to the logistics people of the world.
They re-signed one of the best blocking fullbacks in the league. And
Absolutely.
Patrick Ricard, or whatever, you pronounce
Ricard.
that.
Right.
So, at 29%, let's go with 35 at least.
That's another 300-pound player, bro.
Yeah.
They have 5 linemen that weigh 300 pounds and a fullback that weighs 300 pounds. You have no excuses tonight, Roy. No excuses.
No. So,
but go ahead. We just spent 30 minutes on that boring ass football
20
team.
minutes. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Haircut, which was
hey, Vic,
yes.
Vic, slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Oh, we good. We're gonna get our pace is gonna pick up here. Let's jump on 95, get to I-70, go through 76, then 376, and then we're gonna go into Pittsburgh. To the former ketchup bottle. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this route plans, MJ route plans.
I need you to not put your business in the street. That's just some brotherly advice.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
You said a lot by saying that. Just you know.
Listen, but you know, in full transparency, I'm one thing not too many people know about me. I am a map nerd. I don't know why,
Yo,
but I'm a
that's
map nerd.
crazy. That's crazy. I'm a map nerd too, dog.
That's what makes this. So y'all have just learned
That's
something.
crazy.
Hey, I appreciate the fact that
Yo.
I know something new. This has nothing to do with football, but now we know that we have
Oh my god!
human GPSs.
Yes. Well, yeah, trust me, we are never lost. Listen. I'll like it's a weird thing. Like no matter you could put me anywhere, and this is for real. Like I will be able to know. Okay, this is north. This is west. This is east. This is south. Just something that I've been blessed with and I've worked on, like geography. Anyways, I digress.
We hit 4 routes. Now we in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot of stuff going on.
Yes. And I don't want the map conversation to take a toll. That's a turnpike bar on this show. Anyways, the Steelers. The Steelers have had. If it was any other offseason, they would have had the most interesting offseason in recent memory. But the teams in Ohio are giving them a run for their money. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
They upgraded at their quarterback position. Okay. The Steelers under Mike Tomlin, their record when they don't turn the ball over is absurd. I mean, absurd. Like Tomlin, I lost it now, but whatever. It went flying somewhere. Literally, the note went flying somewhere. But it is something in like 85% wins when they win the turnover battle. And now you get Aaron Rodgers, who he doesn't have to be 2010 Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have to be the 4-time MVP Aaron Rodgers. He just got to be better than Russell Wilson Aaron Rodgers. And he will do that simply because he takes care of the football. So you upgrade your running back, your quarterback position. Your running back position, Najee Harris dragged that running back room down. He had zero explosiveness last year, and that's not a pun at the firework accident he just had. He had zero explosiveness last year. Now you got this young buck, Jalen Warren, who's eager to prove himself. You draft Caleb Johnson. You are going to have a very dynamic, a very explosive, and a very quick, twitchy running game. That is modern NFL football, unless your name is Derrick Henry. So good for them on that. Their wide receiver room, it's deeper than it was last year. Yeah, you lose George Pickens. You add DK Metcalf. We can go back and forth as to who's better, but in terms of like positional value, they are in the same tier. Good for them. You got deeper, you add Robert Woods, who's not going to give you 60 snaps a game, but if he can give you 20, 25 third down snaps, or if he can give you, like a couple third down snaps and about 18 more snaps on first and second down, that's going to be valuable, especially when you try to run these certain combinations, these high-low concept that Robert Woods can run at the right depth, at the precise depth, which is important. You want to know how important? Ask Tom Brady, ask Peyton Manning, ask Drew Brees, ask Aaron Rodgers, who is these all-time great quarterbacks are very picky at the depth that their receivers run certain routes. So he's going to add a lot of experience, a lot of value, a lot of perception. Cool. Defensively, the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade. How does that affect their defense? I did a little study on this. How does that affect their defense? Bringing in Jalen Ramsey. Their secondary is low-key deep. Like, it's not LOB type of players, but they go about 6, 7 deep in their secondary. All guys who were starters on other teams. All guys who can be starters on other teams, including Beanie Bishop. You add Juan Thornhill. You add Darius Slay. You let Dante Jackson go, who didn't work out, and you bring in Darius Slay, an upgrade at the position. The Jalen Ramsey thing, the Jalen Ramsey Minkah Fitzpatrick swap. And I'm gonna pass the torch after this, because I know I'm rambling. Last year, Minka Fitzpatrick was their center fielder, not by choice, by force. Because although in years past they were generating more turnovers than last year, they also were giving up a lot more big plays than they did last year. Last year, the Steelers forced you to matriculate the ball down the field. And that's why they moved Minka Fitzpatrick, because it was like, yo, they compromised. Turnovers for we're gonna make you move this ball meticulously down the field on us for 60 minutes. And that's why they had so much success the first 60% of the season or so. But then it all falls down. And
Yeah, okay.
so I think the reason they did the swap was two reasons. Number one, they wanted to add Jonnu Smith, who is going to be a huge boost. He is going to be the X factor of that offense. They wanted to add Jonnu Smith. And I think the Dolphins were like, yo, well, you can have Jonnu Smith if you can take Ramsey's contract and give us Minka back. And they looked at it and said, well, you know what? Jalen led all corners in quarterback pressures last year. Did y'all know that?
No.
Jalen led all corners in quarterback pressure. Jalen was one of the better run defending corners in the league. Ironically, because he was so known for his coverage skills, that has declined a little bit. But hey, on his worst day, he's still better than most. You bolster that run defense now, and you can allow whether it's Jalen Ramsey or Beanie Bishop to be a little more interchangeable. I think it just gives them a better fit with Juan Thornhill, because instead of now trying to figure out what are we going to do between Thornhill and KZ and Minka, you have Jalen Ramsey, who's going to be your knight. You know, we can put him here. We can put him here. First down, we're going to put him here. They come out in this package, we're going to put him here. Third down, we're going to put him here. Third and long, we're going to put him here. So I think he is going to be that chess piece for Tomlin, where they can put him wherever the situation dictates without compromising another piece of the defense. I digress. That was a little too long. Go ahead, Vic.
No, do your thing. Oh, you want me? Or so
Anybody.
I think that like you said, Robert Woods was a tremendous pickup. Jonnu, like you said, like just the underneath, like Aaron Rodgers loves to go underneath as well. As most of the veteran quarterbacks like those guys that can run short to middle of the field routes. So I think those were great pickups. DK is going to complement that with the deep ball. I'm not sure how much arm strength Aaron has left, but that I think that was an excellent pickup. He's gonna enjoy the tight end, Pete Freiermuth, if I'm pronouncing his name. Pat Freiermuth. I think he'll enjoy the tight end for sure. But Derek Harmon, the first round pick. They play a base 3-4, which means a 2-gap system, where the down linemen are going to be covering 2 gaps. And I think Derek Harmon is excellent on doing things like that. And even if they want to play a 1-gap 3-4, he's going to be, significant piece for them to do that as well. So I see that they got Jalen listed as a nickel back on the depth chart. I don't know how true or how official that is. But if he's rushing the quarterback from that spot, I mean, listen, that dude's got the length to do it, got the speed to do it. So again, I think, like we said, the Steelers are one of the teams that had an interesting offseason. It can go really well for them, or it can go really bad for them. And really bad would mean that Aaron Rodgers took an even more significant step back in terms of his age and stuff like that. Because again, like I said, I don't know how much he's going to be able to get DK the ball, but at least they got Robert Woods underneath and Jonnu underneath and Pat Freiermuth underneath to take care of those, small to intermediate routes.
No doubt. Side note, we got breaking news. and we'll talk about it in a different show. But Von Miller is signing with the Commanders.
No.
Big news. We'll talk about that later. Go ahead, MJ.
All right, so hold up. Let me put this hat on. All right, so this is how I describe Aaron Rodgers. It's just not for everybody. And one of the things that stood out with this offseason was not the Steelers getting Aaron Rodgers. And I usually don't go personal life, but this is in a positive way. Aaron Rodgers got married. A lot of people ain't really talking about that. And it wasn't no like big wedding. He wasn't in the tabloid. One of them things where he found out and he was just like, yeah, thank you for the congratulations, and kept it moving. What marriage does to a man, I can speak on this because I'm married. It gives you a different level of patience with human beings. It gives you a different level of understanding. You have no choice.
Interesting.
It gives you a different level of peace and enjoying the small things and appreciating the small things. It gives you a different level to that. So I'm looking at this Aaron Rodgers who is married. What was our Aaron Rodgers' problem all the time? It was never his talent. What was his problem? His leadership.
100%.
Could I very well say that a married Aaron Rodgers going into a situation where we already know Mike Tomlin is the leader of that ship? Could that possibly be a match made in heaven? And y'all just added Jalen Ramsey. Which was the last time he won a title, he had a Charles Woodson.
Very similar piece. Very similar piece.
You know, you got DK Metcalf who could play the role of Jordan Nelson.
Yeah.
Look at that Green Bay team he won with.
Yeah.
He became A-Rod.
Calvin Austin is Randall Cobb in the making.
You see in the connection?
Absolutely.
So not only do we got the pieces, but I think he also could possibly have the maturity to be ready to receive this and not look at it as I got to make this play. And if Aaron Rodgers, that was always Aaron Rodgers' problem. Aaron Rodgers felt like he had to make that play. He'll hold on that ball a little bit too long. He'll scramble a little bit too far. In the locker room, you know, he was what he was.
That's a very interesting perspective, and I certainly talked about it off the air with somebody that, like, he might be in a place in life where he's fulfilled now, and just when you get to that place, which we all hopefully are achieving for or striving for, it changes your perspective. You're absolutely right. It definitely changes your perspective. And it's very possible that, like you said, him and Tomlin are just a match made in heaven, because the one thing for sure, when he was with the Packers, Mike McCarthy knew he had to tread a certain way. With the Jets basically were ready to worship this dude.
Pretty much.
That's not going to happen with Mike Tomlin, And I think the mutual respect is a factor. I think the leaders in that locker room as well is a huge factor. Like, you're not going to just punk Cam Hayward. That's not going to happen. That is a very unique perspective that has a lot of value to it. Germ, your thoughts on the Steelers, whether it's X's and O's, Rex's and Joe's, or
This is Aaron Rodgers 444. This is the album or the body of work that he put together to solidify an already solid career.
Sure. No doubt.
Because it's not going to take you to throw for 5,000 yards to get this done. What you have to do is protect the ball, respect the ball, and make sure that you do the one thing that you've never done before, and that's be a leader in the regards of just showing up every day, grinding hard, and giving these guys the Aaron Rodgers experience. That's it. It's nothing else that needs to be said. As
No
far as
doubt.
defense goes, listen, man, I'm just gonna put this into perspective for everybody. You get a young JPJ now as your third corner, third best corner in the room now.
That's good.
Slay with Ramsey gives you guys on the outside that not only will they be able to do some things now defensively and utilize people like Thornhill and things like that in the deep middle, which I think now that you have somebody who can play deep middle, who can read and react on the back end with guys that also are going to be really, really good at pattern reading, zone coverages, and different things like that, because they're veteran guys. I think it just changes everything that they want to do with their pass rush now. Now we may see some more things with more pass rushers on the field. We may see more pressure packages because now we have the ammunition to be able to throw out there as well to mix up some coverages and things like that, and even throw some different things out there. The key piece here is, of course, is for me, Jalen was a game changing piece for me, and I think that's the piece that makes this a Super Bowl or put up year for Pittsburgh.
Yes.
I think that's the piece for me. DK is DK. Like, bro, let's just put it into perspective this way. It's never been about receivers. It's always about, can we run the ball? Can we stop the run? And can we get after the quarterback? If Aaron Rodgers just does simple things, Aaron Rodgers is also in that same class of all elite quarterbacks where they find guys that they like that play receiver, and they grow them up through a season. When I say grow them up through a season, they put them through things. Hey, we're going to work on these routes because these are routes you're going to be running. A la Malcolm Mitchell for Brady in that 18 season.
Yep.
You know, David Patton in the early years. These are players that they have that are capable. So I say that to wrap up. I have an expectation for the Steelers. I believe that they should be in that conversation for the best teams in the league. Don't care that Aaron is 40. I just care that Aaron has seniority. And that is what I care about here. So I think the Steelers have the same projection as the Ravens. They should be looking at Super Bowl or bust as a big thing. And I think that Mike Tomlin is still arguably one of the three best coaches in the game. If there's anybody who can make this work, I think that he's the person that can do it.
Absolutely. Shout out to people in the comment section. Jaquan, you're right. KZ is not there anymore, but nonetheless, they still go by 6-7 deep in the secondary. Shout out to my boy Twerk, who says that don't forget about Darnell Washington. It was like Mercedes Lewis to keep into the Packers comparisons or comparables.
Yep.
But no, I mean the Steelers roster is a lot deeper than what it was last year. You got some continuity in your offensive line now. I think the offensive line is going to be much better. And to me, everything we're talking about is going to come down to how that offensive line performs. No beef, no Lombardi. The offensive line, make no mistake about it, their performance is ultimately going to be the biggest key to their success. Point number one. Point number two, who's the gatekeeper in the AFC right now?
Kansas City.
Say it out loud. Don't be scared. We know.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Absolutely. We talk about the Bills. We talk about the Ravens. The Bengals, they beat them, but they are, spoiler alert, probably irrelevant next year. We talk about the Bills. We talk about the Ravens. We talk about the Chargers with Justin Herbert. Realistically speaking, the biggest threat to the Kansas City Chiefs, in my opinion, are the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have the coach. They have the defense. So Pittsburgh, they might not match up well against Buffalo. I will openly say that. Buffalo is probably a bad matchup for the Steelers. However, the Ravens and the Chiefs, they match up favorably, and in certain places, they have advantages. So I'm echoing what Germ said. It's a let's make a push for that seventh ring. You can. I mean, for years, all I heard of Pittsburgh was, oh well, they got 6 Super Bowls. Tom Brady only has 3. Overnight now, Tom got one more than y'all. So what you going to do about it, Vic?
Stay tuned for All Century team. The defense coming up soon. Shout out to Mo
Yes.
and the work that he's done already.
Shout out to y'all.
Look out for that to see if your favorite players are on our list. But we joined Mo and putting together some of that list and some of that defense. And shout out to TJ Watt, because there was some shit that I had to get educated on about that man. Okay. I was kind of overestimating his impact. Let's just say that. So look out to see where he shows up on that list. But yeah, I mean, Steelers, listen, they got a chance to take that division too from the Ravens. So
Yeah, no doubt. MJ, anything you want to add?
Nah, man. Just
Yeah.
and I'm excited for that Steelers Ravens game, and they're gonna see each other twice. I'm excited for that one.
Probably 3 times. And as far as the TJ Watt thing, they're working out some things. The length of the contract, it seems to be the biggest thing. I don't think that's a situation where Steelers fans have any reason to have any anxiety. I think the Steelers historically, they know which guys they want to commit to. And TJ Watt's somebody that they're going to keep committing to. And I don't think they have any reason to have anxiety about this pass rusher situation. Let's move a little west to the Cincinnati Bengals, where if you are a Bengals fan, anxiety, depression, resentment, you name them. They got 99 emotions, but enthusiasm ain't one.
Damn.
Oof.
Damn.
The organizational culture of the Cincinnati Bengals is putrid. It is not just the worst in Ohio, not just the worst in the division. They are in a situation now where we are looking at them as possibly the worst ran organization in the league. Let me say a little facts, or let me give you my perspective here. And I'm going to try not to go more than 4 minutes and 44 seconds. When you are in a position of leadership, of management, particularly when you are running a business, when you own a business, a lot of your decisions are not going to be popular. But you ain't running a popularity contest. You running a business. A lot of what you go through on a daily basis is confrontation. As a leader, it is your job in those confrontations to stay here, because everybody else, the players, the employees, whatever, their emotion is going to be here for several reasons. But you have to stay here. You know why? Because here is the bottom line. The bottom line stays here. And that's what you serve. You don't serve yourself. You don't serve a particular person of the organization. You serve the bottom line. And when the leader, when the owner rises to that emotion, it creates instability, it creates friction, it creates hostility, all negative things. Now, to every reaction, there's an opposite, right? Those 3 things have an opposite. All 3 of those things have an opposite positive word to it. If you just stay focused on the bottom line. The Bengals brass coming out and saying that Trey Hendrickson should be happy with what he got is equal to a certain owner who said the prisoners can't run the asylum when it came to the Colin Kaepernick thing. Same energy. Same energy. Because, and mind you, I'm just saying this because of this specific situation.
Yeah.
You out there in a press conference in skirt and heels talking about what somebody in pads deserves. And as he should be happy with what we gave him. Here you go. You should be. Meanwhile, you out here handing contracts to two other guys in the same offseason. What they did was cater and cave to Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. Everybody here knows I love Joe Burrow. But they failed by making T. Higgins a priority over Trey Hendrickson. They failed the bottom line because the bottom line is you can win a Super Bowl with Trey Hendrickson and without T. Higgins. That Super Bowl window is closed with T. Higgins and without Trey Hendrickson. It can reopen, but it's not going to reopen this year. So now we're in a situation where you're going to be putting up points and the fantasy people are going to be putting up the Bengal stacks, but you're not going to be serving the bottom line, which is wins. And so to me, the Bengals
Oh man.
are the prey and not the predator
Oh God.
in the AFC North.
All right. This is where I tell people that there is no Santa Claus. I'm sorry. This is where I go. Because I hate talk. I don't want to like mix sports and business because it takes away from y'all fairy tale. And y'all want to believe that every team is trying to do whatever it takes to win for the state, win for the fans, win for little Jimmy who just wanted an autographed jersey at the end of the game and he ended up getting that with a water bottle. Y'all want that to happen. I get it. But in all actuality, here's the business side of it that no one wants to discuss or talk about because it doesn't sound good. But it's the truth based on the actions and the facts that we are witnessing. When I get a generation talent, do I want to utilize this generation talent to get a championship or to make money? Don't answer quick. Think about it. As much as we want to say we want championships, most people from a business standpoint is looking at this and be like, as long as he throw up 4,500 and 5,000 yards for the next 6 or 7 seasons, we're going to sell out. And he's even good enough to probably get us in a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to sell that out double.
Damn. That's some good points.
Yeah, great points.
This is the thing I need for people to start understanding when it comes to management. They're not stupid. In fact, they're the opposite. They're very smart. So when something doesn't make sense on a winning aspect or a sports aspect, this is where you have to start looking at the business aspect on how it makes sense. And nobody wants to talk about it, but it just is what it is. We've seen it happen with Barry Sanders. We've seen it happen with Johnson. This dude is just such a talent to where it's like, let's just ride this wave.
Yeah.
Hell, we've seen it happen with teams who just have such a loyal fan base that they don't even have to be good. I ain't gonna drop no names today. Y'all, I can go from there.
Nick knows.
A lot of people know. It's more than one.
I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like.
So, with all of that being stated, we gonna talk football again. But when my guy Mo, who is a football purist,
no,
why a formidable organization with an owner cannot see the forest through the trees It's because he's not trying to. He's trying to cut the trees down and create a cabin.
Yeah,
That's why.
you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And that's why, like, your perspective is purely if this was a business, which it is obviously. My perspective is it's a football business,
I agree.
you know,
And my
and
perspective is,
go ahead.
if this world were mine.
I don't know how. I don't know, Germ. I don't know how we follow what Myron just said. Like he just
I
killed.
know how to
He
follow.
just killed. I know you do. I know because you got talent. You see what I'm saying?
At the
But
same
me,
Luther.
I'm just this one-sided, you know what I'm saying, where I'm just talking about the nerd part of the football.
I
And
love
I just killed, like, forget it now. What's the point now? We're talking about the nerdy part of it now.
It's my fault, man.
I mean,
I don't want to be going there. Like y'all be bringing it
like
out.
listen,
This
like
is
like
the
like
problem.
like it says, hold on real quick, John. Like it says in
Yes.
baseball, chicks dig the long ball, right?
Mhm.
So in football, that's chicks, they gonna dig the touchdowns. And as long as you can throw the deep ball to those receivers, you're gonna sell seats.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, Jeremy. I'll follow you up.
I love it.
It is really, 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 really nice to have MJ around because he says, Germ, this is what he says to me all the time. He says, Germ, you're speaking on what you would do or how you feel the world should be. And I'm going to speak on that right now, and we're going to make this a chance to speak on that. And if this world were mine, T. Higgins would have never got paid.
Damn.
I would have flipped T. Higgins into 3 condos, a ship, and 3 cars. He would have been we would have turned him into something. Why am I saying that? Because number one, he was a high piece of draft capital because he was a 2nd-round pick. You could have turned T. Higgins into a 1st-round pick and a couple of other picks. Or you could have turned him into a linebacker, a defensive tackle, a veteran safety, a slot receiver, or 2 offensive linemen and a defensive lineman. You could have turned him into something that would have been way more valuable to your football team. Last year, Jamar Chase showed you he doesn't need a true number 2 wide receiver in order for him to be effective. He showed you he can be that dude in the room, and everybody else, I am David Ruffin, and these are the Temptations. That's what he showed you last year. So I need for everybody to take a deep breath and to look back at a Triple Crown winning receiver who just said he wanted this amount of money, and then you went and paid Tito Jackson and Michael Jackson. We could have just got Michael Jackson and then told Tito that we'll catch him the next special.
Yup.
It makes no sense. But then we're going defensively. You have no veteran presence
None.
on that defense that gives you something for the young players to look to for strength, look to bring camaraderie or anything. That's what Trey Hendrickson adds to that team. Hubbard retired. He's gone. You also lost, I don't know why he calls himself JP Money, but you lost Pratt as well.
You did.
You're losing too many players in order for you to be successful on that side of the ball. And that's the side of the ball that failed you last year, arguably, when you were playing against the division champion.
How about your safety, Germ? 2 years ago.
A couple years ago.
You let Jesse Bates walk out the door.
They let Mike Hilton walk out the door.
You let
Akeem
Mike
Davis
Hilton
Gaither
walk out the door. I
Sheldon
mean, if
Rankins
boots were
walk out
made
the
for
door.
walking, and that's just what they'll do, soon enough, the owner's boots, they just gonna walk right over you. I've had enough.
Same.
Cincinnati, you have always been a knockoff organization. You're in the sister city. Ironically, all of this ties together, and it just makes me even more mad every day. You got the same ugly brown colors. It's just it all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Like sugar-free.
Yeah, listen.
This is literally the Cincinnati Bengals.
The ordinary.
The the Bengals are like, you know how you got spearmint gum? The Cincinnati Bengals are the spearmint gum to the Browns being winter fresh. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. I want to be Slaw so bad, but I got the number 1 overall pick, and I got Joseph Burrow and Jamar Chase. That's the difference between these two organizations right there. Those two players are the difference in these organizations right there. If you put those two players on the Browns, you might as well just take the team, just ball them together. Because then we'll get a real football product.
Yes, you would. You would get a hell of a football team.
You get a real product. Because
hell yeah.
Listen, this thing right here, this is like having 2 new Cybots right now. It's not working. Bring me the one new Cybot together where we can throw people at you. Then we do other things. It's just too much. This is too much. I have had enough of the Bengals. I'm tired of Cincinnati being mediocre, and they have the talent that allows them to be better than mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
This is simple. I don't have any expectations for them. Then you can't even get it right with rookies. F ups in life are inevitable. But this organization is a second class F up. Because they can't even be first class because they're a knockoff.
They ain't even business class.
When you got Prada, this is an auditor.
Dog. And so what Jeremy's talking about is they drafted Shamar Stewart, top 20 pick, and all of a sudden, they haven't done it before with any of their first round picks. They decided they're not going to guarantee his contract. Now there's a realistic possibility. He's working out in Texas and at his old college, but that's just normal. But even before that report came out, there is a realistic possibility that their first round pick, probably the reason they stalled on Trey Hendrickson, that their first round pick, Shamar Stewart, is not going to play for them, and he's going to go back and play college next year. If that happens, that is an unprecedented F-up. Also, Vic, before you go, we're talking about defense and all that. They let Alex Kappa walk, and they let Trent Brown walk on the offensive line side. Go ahead, Vic. I know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I follow up with these mentally talented black men here. But
Bro, Lord, write this down. How high is your display resolution right now?
I love it.
But yeah, listen, bro. I'm like, let's be real, man. Like, views from the 22. Get it together. Get it together, guys. Get it together.
Oh my God, bro.
Vic, I'm with you. I'm still here. I'm locked in.
Listen, what is our slogan at Views from the 22? No beef, no Lombardi.
Correct.
And somehow the Bengals continue to miss that memo. They are disrespectful to our franchise here that we're building. They are disrespectful to our slogan. Because yeah, I mean, they're gonna build some outside. They're gonna build that team where it's gonna look like they doing big things, but defensive line, offensive line wins you football games. And if you're not taking care of Shamar Stewart, you're not taking care of Trey Hendrickson. Mo and I was going over some numbers on that dude. That's a man that puts some pressures. That's a man that puts some pressure. That's a man right there that puts great pressure on the quarterback. And he needed some support, as we saw by the advanced statistics that we can leave for another day. But very, very important. And then on the offensive line, like you said, they lost some pieces. One kid that I do like is the 3rd round pick. I think it's Dylan Fairchild. I'm sorry, let me look at him real quick. Yeah, Dylan Fairchild. He is the guard that played with Georgia, and he only gave up 1 quarterback hit in 2 seasons.
Nice.
This is a second team second team offensive lineman for the AP. So this kid has a chance to start right away for them because again, there's just no talent on that offensive line.
No.
So it's gonna be a situation again where Joe Burrow, they gave up 48 sacks last year, bro.
Yeah.
So if this kid can't even start, then because he's a rookie, then go ahead, Mark.
No, I was just gonna say this is just ironic and funny to me. You have a team that paid their quarterback and understood because they paid their quarterback, they had to let go of some prominent skilled players and skilled positions, but they focused on their core, their tight end, their defensive end, and their quarterback, and they brought in some skilled positions in the draft and even got some free agents there, and they just keep making the Super Bowl. And then you have this team that's doing literally the exact opposite, and that's why it's like I can no longer give them the benefit of the doubt that they're trying to win. Because when all of your emotions do the opposite, how can I believe what you're saying with your words? And it's just that simple.
Yeah. And again, like to your ultimate point, MJ, with them signing, prioritizing T. Higgins, and all the money that they have locked up at the receiver position, it compromised the offensive line.
Yes.
So your golden ticket, so to say, is vulnerable to not being there to perform and be sort of the bearer of the circus and put butts in seats.
When Joe Burrow's been upright, they've been to AFC Championship games.
Yeah.
And a Super Bowl even.
With the exception of last year. But even though last year he got his ass kicked over and over and over and over and over.
So you think about what Joe Burrow has overcome in that organization to be as successful as he has. As much as we talk about this division, Joe Burrow has more playoff success in his 6 seasons than Lamar and the Ravens had in the last 8 seasons.
Jeez. Ooh, boy.
I said fish don't fry in the kitchen. Bees don't burn on the grill.
So we have gone a little longer than expected. We're gonna do a rapid fire for the Cleveland Browns because I don't think there's
that's
too
Michael
much.
Jackson and Slow Time. Let's go. We can make this easy.
Go ahead, John. Go ahead. There's not much to talk about there. Go ahead.
Listen, Michael Jackson, hit it. Hey. No, anyway, listen. I just want y'all to know that the Cleveland Browns is off the wall. We've been. First of all, I need us to know that this is just one of those organizations again. I don't understand. Kevin Stefanski to me is Dirty Diana. You never make me stay, so take your weight off of me. That's how my fandom felt right there. I felt it. He said that, I got chills. I said, ooh. It's over with at this point. We've wasted another great pass rusher's career. We've wasted some other good people's career. Until they fix the offensive line, retool the offensive line on the tackle side of things, until we figure out what we're going to do with a leader of men in the locker room, I just feel like Cleveland will still continue to be the bottom feeder of the division. I don't care that Stefanski's had 2 winning seasons, because winning seasons, have they been consecutive? No. Because in all actuality, he's set to have a winning season this season because it's every other season. There's no consistency there. There's no consistency on what we want to do because we want to use analytics. It has been just a very, 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 very interesting situation with what happened with Myles Garrett this offseason is just how it works in Cleveland. We all want to leave. We got to leave. We want to get out of here. But then after that, you turn around and you say, but the money's good.
Yeah.
Like what?
The money's good.
Cleveland and Cincinnati is like Mooney Long song. Twin.
That's the Spider-Man meme. It's like you be slaw. No, you be slaw. No, you be slaw. It's bad.
You be slaw.
Yeah.
I'm not understanding. Like, again, I'm just not understanding what the direction is. And I root for Shador. Shador is in Cleveland he's in the Cleveland making waves. Garden Valley, shout out to Garden Valley Projects. It was a serious situation where some people lost their lives, burnt some stuff down, everything like that. This man is hosting a get together, a thing in the community, trying to bring the community together in that type of area. And he has been in this organization less than 6 months.
2 minutes. Yeah. No doubt. Which good.
I just to wrap up my final thoughts about him overall, because I know everybody may have little things to say. I just don't see any promise here. I see some good players, but until we change MJ, Ham, Trav, Coach Les, people like that, we talked about this before on 94. When Golden State brought in people who like basketball and basketball people, the organization started winning basketball games.
Amazing how that worked, right?
So, hey, Cleveland, just a thing. Why we keep bringing in people who like oil and everything else? We bring in people who like gas stations and everything else.
Oh my God!
They want to drill in the Middle East, but they don't want to put nothing into the team in Northeastern Ohio.
So, all right, let me stretch on this. No, Vic, you go.
I'm sorry.
Vic,
go ahead. No, I mean, just to add,
pick your head up.
I think that
Fix your posture.
of course, some of the bigger losses that people probably talk about the most, obviously, Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb. But I think that, two losses that the Browns had that I think are significant to this team and why they might end up last place in this division is Amari Cooper first. Again, take care of your own. You got to bring back guys like that. Maybe Amari, wasn't from your he's been a Cowboy and everything else before that, Raiders. But I think if they would have brought him back, replacing him with Deontay Johnson, I think you take a step back there. But one that's really big in German, this was one of our favorite guys was Jedrick Willis. Unfortunately,
Huge.
Between him and Tristan Wirfs, Tristan, like we talked about how, I mean, there's just no words to describe how great that kid is. We thought that between him and Jedrick, they were going to be the next best offensive tackles to probably become, Hall of Famers at the end of their careers. And unfortunately, Jedrick, knee injury and things like that. So, that's again, beef. And they lose Jedrick. He's still a free agent at 26 years old. Teams are probably scared of that knee situation. So, that is unfortunate that they lose a piece like that. And that might be their biggest loss. I love the running back pick. I think that's a 3-down running back. He doesn't have the speed, but I think he's physical enough for this, for the NFL. And then Shador, man, I just, bro, I just hope and pray that kid stays healthy and can focus on reaching his potential. Because, I wouldn't call him an elite level. He's not like if you were watching Andrew Luck or Joe Burrow on film, but
he's a B player at the position.
Next
players can win championships if they have the right organizational structure.
Right. And I mean, I think that he can easily, by week 10, if they're like 3-7 and fighting for top 5 pick, let's put the kid in the game. Let's put the kid to play. And see what he can do at the NFL level, because
I just hope that they fire Stefanski too. I'm sorry, Vic. Just let him go week 10 to week 10.
That might
week 10, 1-10.
Yeah. That
Kevin
might be
Stefanski on the win.
that might be good for him. You know, it might be good where they could just throw in the quarterback. I don't again, like I said, I don't think Kenny Pickett even makes the roster. Dylan Gabriel is not better than Shador. Um, if Dylan even gives Shador competition, it's not going to look good. So I think Shador is better than that. And again, by week 10, let's put him behind center and see
Yeah.
what he can do because I think that can be a special player. Our track record has been, 50, 60% with quarterbacks over the years. So I like my chances with predicting Shador's career right now.
Hey, listen, all great points by all three of y'all.
I ain't say
MJ,
nothing.
I know I was about to say MJ didn't say nothing. MJ, you want to go before I wrap it up?
Yes, please. I will be quick.
Go ahead, brother.
Cleveland lost this season in the draft.
Yes.
You showed everybody on the planet that proving a point was more important than building a better roster.
Bars.
Fair.
Right. 100% agree.
No matter what Shador Sanders do right now, he is just being a professional. But we all know that when a better situation arrives and pops up, he is not going to be loyal to Cleveland as he shouldn't be. If he turns into the person that he could
expect him, right?
But you've taken a kid that you just assumed needed to be humbled without even knowing who he was, without trying to actually get to know him, know his background, see his work ethic, see what he is as a human being, and you already pretty much made him an example for the whole world to see. And you expect all of those other 52 guys in your organization to want to play hard for you? That's why everybody's moving like Shador's daddy. It must be the money. It's all you.
Yeah. So, to add to one thing that Germ said, I don't like that Miles went back, but shout out to his agent. She is a pioneer right now in the free agent game, so shout out to her. Vic, as far as the Dylan Gabriel thing, could not agree with you more. I mean, the man throws the football like he's afraid to get his hands dirty. Like he's got a forget the C motion. He's got a Z motion for zesty. Okay, so yeah, I said it. It's late. Okay. I think Shador is going to be the starter for the Cleveland Browns at some point. I think a perfect spot would be week 7 because they got the Dolphins and the Patriots and a bye, and then you go Jets, Ravens, Raiders. So that'd be like a good mix for him. But you could also just start him after the bye against the Jets. But I don't want his first career start to be against somebody like Aaron Glenn. That's tough for any rookie.
And like I said, man, like real quick, like Amari Cooper would have been an outstanding receiver for him to throw to, man. Like you got cats with brick hands now.
They traded Amari Cooper during the season last year. Because of trading him, the person that emerged was Elijah Moore. They should have kept Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is going to be a star for the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. You keep an eye and remember that name, Vic. Elijah Moore is going to produce for the Buffalo Bills. So I think they dropped the ball on that. Even though fair is a place you judge pigs, I think they're being fair by keeping Stefanski because he was not the one who wanted Watson, nor was he the one that made that deal. And that deal obviously has crippled their roster a little bit. So I agree with you, Germ. Eventually you gotta let go of Stefanski. So Cleveland, Cincinnati, we'll see you next year. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, come New Year's time, come Christmas time, y'all better be there. Y'all better be there in serious contention. I fully expect the AFC North to have 2 teams represented on Divisional Saturday. Just my opinion. We're gonna wrap it up because we went way longer than we wanted to, but it's the first one.
It's
We
my
got
fault.
no, it was a great one.
Anytime
But
we go long, it's my fault, bro.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna edit this and repost it so that it's a little shorter, but it's still gonna be about an hour, 10 minutes. Great show. I love the comments. I love the energy in this comments. The energy, when we have energy like this, is a type of energy that makes us want to make it even better next time. So shout out to everybody in the comment section. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff coming. We got the defense team 1 being released exclusively Friday afternoon, 12:30 Eastern, exclusively on Happy Hour, Sports 56, 98 FM with John Radio and Jay Ham. Shout out to those two. Well, one of them at least is a mentally great white man. Shout out to them though. Shout out to everybody over there. Hey. Anyways, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Germ, MJ, Vic. We got our brother in the background off screen. Shout out to him, Coach Les. We will see y'all very soon, and y'all better be listening on Friday. Take us home, True.